Welcome back. In part 2, we mastered agentic loops, the single agent pattern. Let's do a quick recap before we scale up. First, the 5 parameters of messages.create. Model and max_tokens are required. System, tools, and messages are optional, but critical for agentic behavior. The 4-step loop: send a request, check stop_reason, execute any tools, append a result, then repeat until end_turn. Tools are descriptions, not code. Claude sees only the name and schema. Your code runs the actual function and returns a tool_result. Stop_reason is the only control signal the loop reads. End_turn means exit. Tool_use means execute. That's the entire branching logic. And 3 anti-patterns to avoid: parsing text to detect tool calls, using a fixed iteration cap as the exit condition, and keyword detection loops. Today we build on all of that. Here's what's on the agenda: 6 concepts that cover the full multi-agent coordinator pattern. By the end of this video, you'll be able to design, explain, and reason about multi-agent coordinator systems at exam depth. Here are the 6 things we cover. First, why move to multi-agent at all? What are the constraints that make a single agent insufficient? Second, the hub-and-spoke architecture. 1 coordinator, multiple subagents, 3 hard rules that define the pattern. Third, isolated context. This is the most tested detail: what the coordinator sees versus what each subagent sees. Fourth, the coordinator's 5 responsibilities. This is the exam's model of what a coordinator actually does. Fifth, the task tool. How delegation actually works under the hood. 4 steps from call to result. And sixth, 5 anti-patterns. The exam will present scenarios designed to trap you with these. Let's make sure you recognize every one. Why move from a single agent to a multi-agent system? There are 4 situations where you have no choice. The first constraint is the fixed context window. Long, complex tasks overflow what a single agent can hold. You need to partition work across agents with separate contexts. Second, specialization. Subagents get focused system prompts tailored to a narrow domain. A research agent, a writing agent, a code agent, each tuned for its task. Third, parallelism. Independent subtasks can run simultaneously. Multiple task calls in one response. The SDK launches them all at once, dramatically faster. Fourth, and the exam tests this, knowing when one agent is enough. Don't over-engineer. Multi-agent only when these constraints actually apply. The hub-and-spoke architecture is the standard pattern for multi-agent systems. The coordinator is the hub. Each subagent is a spoke. Rule 1. All communication goes through the coordinator. Subagents never send messages to each other, ever. Any design that bypasses this violates the pattern. Rule 2. The coordinator owns error handling. If a subagent fails, the coordinator decides whether to retry, use a fallback, or degrade gracefully. Rule 3. The coordinator controls information flow. It decides exactly what context each subagent receives. No subagent gets the full coordinator history unless explicitly passed. This is the most commonly missed detail on the exam: isolated context. The coordinator sees everything: user request, its own reasoning, all task calls, all results. But each subagent starts completely fresh. It only sees its own system prompt, and the prompt the coordinator explicitly passed. No coordinator history, no other subagent results, nothing. The exam rule: The coordinator must explicitly include everything a subagent needs. Never assume inherited context. The coordinator has 5 distinct responsibilities. These run inside its own agentic loop, and they run in order. Responsibility 1. Decompose. Break the user request into non-overlapping subtasks with clear, distinct scopes for each subagent. Responsibility 2. Delegate. Issue task tool calls, 1 per subagent, with a fully specified prompt that includes everything the agent needs. Responsibility 3. Aggregate. Collect all subagent results and synthesize them into a unified, coherent view. Responsibility 4. Evaluate. Check quality and completeness. If there are gaps, the coordinator redelegates. It doesn't just accept whatever came back. Responsibility 5. Respond. Deliver the final answer to the user, but only after the quality check passes. The user never sees incomplete work. How does delegation actually work? The task tool has 4 steps from the coordinator's call to the result coming back. Step 1. The coordinator's response includes a tool_use block with type task, the target agent name, and the fully specified prompt. Step 2. The SDK sees the task call and launches a fresh Claude instance using the target agent's agent definition, system prompt, tools, model settings. Step 3. The subagent runs its own complete agentic loop independently, including its own tool calls, until it reaches end_turn. Step 4. The result comes back into the coordinator's message history as a tool_result. Critical. The coordinator's allowed _tools must include task, or the SDK will reject the call. Once you understand the task tool, you need to know when to use parallel versus sequential execution. Parallel means the coordinator returns multiple task calls in a single response. The SDK launches all subagents simultaneously. Use this when tasks are fully independent. Sequential means 1 task call per loop iteration. The coordinator waits for each result before issuing the next. Use this when any step needs the previous step's output. The test is simple. If any subagent's prompt needs another subagent's output, it must be sequential. 2 more patterns the coordinator uses: dynamic routing and work partitioning. Both are about efficiency and correctness. Dynamic routing means the coordinator evaluates the request first, then decides which subagents to invoke, not always all of them. A simple query can be handled directly. Over-invoking burns tokens and adds latency. Work partitioning means each subagent has a distinct, non-overlapping scope. If 2 agents search the same data, that's bad decomposition. Good decomposition: 1 agent handles web sources, another handles internal data, no overlap. 2 final concepts before the anti-patterns: iterative refinement and structured handoffs. Both are about quality control. Iterative refinement. After receiving a subagent result, the coordinator evaluates it. If there are gaps, it redelegates to the same agent or a different one. The evaluate step in the 5 responsibilities can run more than once. Structured handoffs. Each finding from a subagent must be tagged with source name, URL, and date. Raw text is unverifiable. Structured output is citable and useful for the coordinator's synthesis step. Now the anti-patterns. The exam will give you scenarios designed to look reasonable, but each one has a flaw. Here are all 5. Anti-pattern 1. Direct subagent to subagent communication. Subagents never message each other. All coordination goes through the coordinator, no exceptions. Anti-pattern 2. Assuming inherited context. Subagents start fresh. Never assume they know the user's request or what other subagents found, unless you explicitly pass it. Anti-pattern 3, always on full pipeline. Triggering all subagents on every request regardless of complexity. Dynamic routing exists precisely to avoid this. Anti-pattern 4, overly narrow decomposition. Splitting tasks so finely that subagents have overlapping scopes. Both do the same search and produce duplicate work. Anti-pattern 5, raw text handoffs. Passing unstructured output between agents with no source attribution. Always use structured handoffs with source, URL, and date. That covers all 7 concepts. Here are the 9 things you must be able to state from memory for the exam. 1. Hub and spoke. Coordinator at center, subagents as spokes. No direct communication between spokes. 2. Isolated context. Subagents start fresh. Coordinator must explicitly pass all needed context. Never assume inheritance. 3. 5 coordinator responsibilities. Decompose, delegate, aggregate, evaluate, respond. 4. Task tool. Spawn subagents as fresh Claude instances. The coordinator's allowed _ tools must include task. 5. Parallel execution. Multiple task calls in one response. SDK runs them simultaneously for independent tasks. 6. Sequential execution. One task call per loop iteration, used when step n+1 depends on step n's output. 7. Dynamic routing. Only invoke the subagents actually needed. Evaluate the request first, then decide. 8. Structured handoffs. Every finding from a subagent must carry source name, URL, and date metadata. 9. Iterative refinement. The coordinator evaluates results and redelegates if there are gaps before giving the final response. That covers task 1.2, the multi-agent coordinator pattern. You now have the complete mental model. Hub and spoke architecture, isolated context, the 5 responsibilities, the task tool, parallel versus sequential, dynamic routing, structured handoffs, and all 5 anti-patterns. In Part 4, we go from concept to code with the Claude Agent SDK. We'll build a real coordinator using agent definition, wire up context passing, and run a working multi-agent pipeline in Python. See you there.